What is up, my friends? How are you guys doing? Welcome back. Thanks for stopping in. I know it's been a few days since I've, posted some videos and stuff, but my kids have been out of school for a break. They've been out all week, and I've just been enjoying hanging out with them, spending time with them while they're out of school, and everybody's just kind of chilling, because that's what it's all about, spending time with the people you love, you know what I mean? So I hope wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, you're loving yourself, you're loving your family, you're loving who you're with, because that is what it is about, my friends. Today we are talking about a movie from 2025, just came out maybe like a month ago, something like that. It's a remake of a classic sword and board fantasy film. This is Red Sonja, directed by M.J. Bassett. Now, before we put on our sandals and before we fasten up our armor, our breastplates, hit that like and subscribe button, because today, guys, we're talking about this, and I wished I had great things to say about it, but sadly, I do not. The Red Sonja, for you guys who don't know, we'll give you a quick history lesson. She's kind of set in the universe of Conan the Barbarian, right? And in the original film, she was portrayed by Brigitte Nielsen, I believe, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played Conan in Conan the Barbarian, was actually in the original Red Sonja film. And since they couldn't use Conan, the name Conan, because of licensing issues or whatever back then, they used one of the aliases that Conan used to go by in the books. So therefore, he's in the movie, he's just not in the movie by name, kind of thing. And that was cool. I always thought that was awesome how they kind of tied that together and all that kind of stuff. That was really cool. But this doesn't do anything cool. The only thing that we get that remotely resembles Red Sonja is the metal bikini, right? That's it, her armor. And the girl who plays her, Matilde Lutz, she's an Italian actress and model, singer, whatever. She needs to go back to doing the modeling and the singing, because the acting, it ain't for her. Okay, I watched it, and the thing is, Red Sonja, she's supposed to be fierce. She's supposed to be almost like the female version of Conan, just, fierce, savage. If she ain't got a sword or a knife or a bow or an arrow, she'll tear you to pieces with her hands and her teeth, kind of thing. This girl has no physical presence whatsoever. She's got a nice body, but she's not toned, she's not ripped. Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I think of Red Sonja, I think of professional wrestler girls like Charlotte Flair or Jordan Grace. Someone with a very toned, muscular body, very lean, that kind of thing. That's what I expect when I'm thinking about Red Sonja. This girl was just a thin, just Italian girl. And another thing that she got incredibly wrong is, I know you guys know what movie English is. There's always, like, when you see an epic period piece or something like that, there's always, when they speak, it's like, hither there, go over there, my friends, but it's not like actual British English. It's more like a movie kind of acting accent. She tries to do that, but her Italian accent bleeds through a lot, and so her dialogue and stuff, she'll start out sounding a little British, and then all of a sudden she'll sound Italian by the end of whatever she's reciting, and it's off-putting. Not to mention, we have special effects that are too clean. Our whole setting of this film, the production design is too clean. If we're in medieval times, if we're in a fantasy land of dragons and monsters and fantasy creatures, the forest, sure, it can be shiny, it can look pretty, it can be verdant and green and, it can look amazing. But when we get onto battlefields, I want to see smoke, I want to see blood, I want to see mud, ash. I want to see the things that are indicative of a battle being waged, and they don't do that. The film is too clean aesthetically to be pleasing as a fantasy film. When you look at Conan and things like that from the past, they were all shot on location most places, so there was real rocks, real desert, real blood and mud and ash. This, you can tell, was shot on a studio with a green screen. The backgrounds look fake. The special effects look fake. The only special effects that look real are the main bad guy's general, who is, made up. That's it. That's the only things that look good. The story itself is stupid, and it wasn't very fleshed out. It wasn't well made. It wasn't well told or written. I feel like this was just whoever got the rights to make Red Sonja just rushed production, and they didn't make a good film. They just didn't make a good film at all. I was very disappointed with the acting. I was disappointed with the writing. I was really disappointed with the action. You know, if I'm watching this type of fantasy film, I expect a little more blood and gore and things like that. I mean, now there was some, but not in the way that I would have preferred. It may be fine to some of you guys, but for me, I just didn't like it. I think there should have been a little more, maybe some dismemberments, that kind of thing. But overall, I just didn't like Red Sonja. I don't think it's worth your time watching it. I'm glad that I waited for it to drop in price to rent because I'm a big fan of the original. I'm a big fan of the Conan films and stuff like that. And I love the Red Sonja comics. I've got quite a few of them. This wasn't Red Sonja, guys. This just wasn't it. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. 2 thumbs down. That's it for Red Sonja. My friends, thank you so much for hanging around, for coming back, for listening to me ramble about this trash that I had to endure for your sake. Thank you guys so much for hanging around. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. And as always, my friends, I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you, and I will definitely see you soon.